Let's face it, not to be rude, but this dog needs a little bit of a diet. Meet Waylon, a giant balloon that floated above the loop today to shine a spotlight on dog obesity. That gets your attention. He's so big, he's stuck between two buildings here on North Wabash. The folks at Iams Dog Food launched the portly pup. They point out that more than 59% of American dogs.
Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe they blew up, well, bought and paid for, blew up, financed a giant dog balloon to bring awareness to dog obesity? I'm not buying that. Don't believe it. And if you got all this money to spend on these giant balloons, and this thing had to be custom made, could have spent that on the dog food or the dog diets. What are you talking about? Dog culture, they're always complaining about how dogs need food. Having food drives and always begging for people to adopt these things. Always complaining about emaciated dogs they find here and there. Now you want us to believe that you blew up this giant balloon in Chicago, of all places. One of the top 3 major cities in the United States. No. Y'all did this for another reason. You're lying. This was uploaded 15 hours ago. You're lying. This is y'all's way of deifying dogs. People walk on the street, that's all they see, a giant dog. Really like trying to project it as a god. You know, larger than life. Oh, look at this gigantic dog. Yeah, this thing looks fitting in a dog worshiping society. Don't sell me this idea you're doing it to bring awareness to dog obesity. Stop it.
The folks at Iams Dog Food launched the portly pup. They point out that more than 59% of American dogs are overweight. We wondered what a more dapper dog might have to say, but this guy said nothing. Sorry, lips sealed. The balloon Waylon is actually modeled after a real dog named Waylon, who we suspect has rather a grand presence. So,
see, this is what I'm talking about. Dogs don't deserve this type of status in this country, where y'all really treat them like deities that have never done any wrong. These things are really the number one cause of funerals of those 13 and under. So that alone, they should be viewed as the number one enemy of Americans, our number one enemies. Okay, these are child predators and parasites, nothing but parasites. Y'all erecting these balloons. Why would you go through such? Hey, why don't you do something like this to bring awareness of the attacks that these things launch on those 13 and under? How about that? How about bringing awareness to that? Seeing that that is what y'all like to ignore more than anything else. You like to skip right past that. Anytime you decide to write an article when something like this happened, it's about 2-3 sentences and you move on to more dog content, nutter content. Huh? Why don't you blow up a big balloon of a dog mauling a newborn, huh? Everybody is aware of dogs and how they eat. What are you talking about? Boy, they do some of the most worthless. The agendas that they have are stupid and worthless. Each and every one of them promoting this sick idea, this sick agenda, that sick twisted agenda. For what? Just to be a degenerate. That's all this is about. Getting off on being a low-life, primitive degenerate. Get out of here. This will be a short, lighthearted stream, okay? I go into work earlier these days. I saw a funny story. At least I thought it was funny. That surfaced a few hours ago, where an officer killed a dog that he thought was a coyote. Why? If it was a coyote, why would you just randomly shoot it anyways? Because I'm saying most likely it would have scurried off once it saw you anyways. I mean, what was this? You saw a coyote. Oh, there's a coyote. Give him a gun. You put the scope on and took aim thinking it was a coyote. And I don't know why, but Yahoo did 2 separate articles on the same story. But you know how Yahoo, they mirror articles from other media outlets. Like this one from Sioux City, KCAU. And this other one mirrored from People. That is pathetic. That is pathetic. Now, I guess the owner says she remembers this dog as big, klutzy, fuzzy goofball. A big, klutzy, fuzzy goofball after it was fatally shot. Now, the cop actually was responding after getting a call about a neighbor who spotted a coyote in her backyard. Okay, a coyote in the backyard. Not a coyote that attacked her. She didn't say, hey, I'm bleeding. I just escaped a coyote attack. No, I saw a coyote in the backyard. Okay? Animal control officer went into the woods to search for a coyote before he spotted the husky and fatally shot the dog in what police are calling truly an honest mistake. While he's in the woods, he hears a blood-curdling scream from the same lady that he just spoke to. So he runs back out and sees what he believed was a coyote. So he takes up his position. He's calling out to distract it. Maybe it'll take off. Gets within 10 yards, and that's when he fired a shot and killed the coyote. They even still called it a coyote. Well, that was, I guess, the statement. However, the animal turned out to be Kirk's 10.5-month-old, and they called it a puppy. He was a good dog. He was a big, klutzy, fuzzy goofball. I'm still in shock. He doesn't believe his dog resembles a coyote. He told the outlet that he would have been the most gorgeous coyote ever on steroids. He described his, oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, now there's more. There's more. He's up there talking, oh, look at pictures of what a coyote looks like in Massachusetts, and look at my dog. Oh, my dog was beautiful. He looked like a wolf, if anything. And there are no wolves in Massachusetts. Okay. And though they told the news that the dog looked identical to a coyote, the owner disagreed and also said that the dog's behavior described by police didn't match the characteristics of Odin, I guess, right? The dog. Animal control officer said the dog was growling at him and baring his teeth. He said, my dog never growled at another dog, let alone a person. He's not aggressive at all. Sure, Nutter, sure. Oh, yeah, we believe you. He's a big goofball. He's never shown his teeth once. Oh, yeah, sure, buddy. And let's say that's true. Let's say you have never seen your dog bare its teeth. You don't know whether or not it did in this moment. So be quiet, and you know it. You don't know what that thing is going to do. Again, y'all don't have magical powers. You don't control these things' brains. Stop talking like you do. Especially when your dog is out of sight. It's run off somewhere and somebody else finds it. You don't know what your dog's going to do. Give me that. Playing dumb. He's a big goofball. He's never shown his teeth. I take food out of his mouth and bring him to the dog park, and he just plays with everybody. You take food out of his mouth, huh? Why did he mention that? What's that supposed to mean? You take food out of its mouth? Okay, whatever that's supposed to mean. Is that supposed to mean it's harmless or something? All right. Dog would often escape. Oh boy. According to the Daily News, the dog would often escape and visit neighbors. But the owner said he'd never cause trouble. Listen to this. This is what we're talking about. Dog nutter lunatics like this, who basically allow their dogs to go free. And then they describe it, oh, it's visiting the neighbors. They're in their own little delusional dog nutter fantasy mind, looking at the dog as a kid. You don't know what that dog's over there doing. These are lunatics I'm talking about. I mean, the desire, the animosity, the hatred you naturally develop for neighbors like this, and you can't blame the neighbors. You are the problem, nutters. Don't wag your finger at the people who get fed up or who delete your dog, like that sheriff did. And what did that lady say? She said, our dog's never shown aggression. It's always been nice. Yeah, but it was over there killing his livestock. Again, y'all don't know what these dogs going to do when they break free. They're so slow. They assume that their dog is going to behave with everyone else, all strangers in the world, the exact same way the dog behaves with them inside their home, which is ignorant and a slow thing to assume. But this is what nutters assume. That's how their brain operates. Low vibration, low everything. Just a poorly parasite-infested functioning brain. Obviously, is what we're dealing with. Never caused trouble. He added that on the morning of the dog's death, he went to the grocery store to look for dog biscuits to encourage the dog to come home. Lord, do you see what we're talking about now? This nutter allowing his dog to escape multiple times, goes to the store. His bright idea is to go to the store and buy dog biscuits to, I guess, plant in his front yard. To encourage the dog to come back home. Listen, you can't point the finger at anybody who decides to delete your dog. And if they delete your dog, You have no right to try to attack them for deleting your dog. Listen, even if you kept the dogs inside of your home, they're too much of a problem for your neighbors even then, with all the barking, and they still gonna break loose. That if you so much of a degenerate, you're gonna basically allow your dog to escape every night. And you don't listen to this nutter. Has no clue on how to get his dog back. He doesn't even drive through the neighborhood calling it. No, let me go to the store and buy some dog biscuits. Wow. Lord help us. Shout out to Dogs Ruin Everything in the super chat. I said I should do a stream segment on people, particularly younger generations, ruining or throwing away their social lives because of dogs. Oh, wow. I never thought about that. Never thought about that. I listened to a video this morning from Sheepy cooking this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but she, I guess, responded to his cooking this guy. I was dying laughing. I was so weak this morning. If you want a good cook, she cooked this dude. Some nutter trying to criticize Dog Free. And this video got like over 300,000 views. The video he made being critical of Dog Free. So Dog Free is really the biggest platform for dog culture critics. I think right now it has like 66,000 members. Okay. If you haven't checked it out, you should. You should. It's like the headquarters of dog culture critics. And the main thing, another thing about Reddit is the dog lovers, their spaces. You could stay in their spaces and only read pro dog culture, posts, and you could build a case against dog culture from the confessions from dog lovers themselves. Dogs are that unwanted and just flat out despicable. Did y'all also see that story of, I think, an actress who had to get rid of her dogs because her dogs would always fight with her fiance's dogs? One of these relationships where the man and the woman get together and they pretend that the dogs are their kids, so they never have biological kids. Well, they couldn't even pull that off, because when they got together, their dogs would fight each other. But dogs are nothing but horrible. Nothing but horrible for society. But I am always looking to do new content, because there's just a lot of stuff that hasn't been covered, hasn't been dealt with, that needs to be dealt with. So anybody got some information on that? You say younger people, younger generations throwing their lives away, social lives away because of dogs. And the thing is, they're grooming them on this. Those therapy dogs, and y'all know I hate to say, that's the main purpose of it. They're trying to put into the young people's minds that when you leave here, talk about dogs. Stay fixated on dogs. They're teaching them dogs should be a part of your life, a standard fixed part. That's why I'm so against these therapy dogs. I think that's a major violation, and it should be illegal. You don't force, and they're only doing it with one sort of so-called pet, which is the only pet that people call the police on, which is ridiculous. I was thinking about this earlier this morning. You call the police on a pet? Think about that for a minute. That should never happen. Like, what are you even talking about? You don't call the cops on a pet. That's not a pet. You calling the cops. But every time a dog starts teeing off, spazzing out, attacking people, who they call? They call the cops. In moments where they call animal control first, quite often animal control say, we can't show up until the cops get there. Sometimes animal control shows up and they stand back because they can't do nothing until the cops come and neutralize them with their firearms. These are not pets. They're not pets. And the younger generation, anytime I make those comfort dog videos or streams where I'm being critical of these so-called emotional support dogs, those are directed to young people. And I think young people are smart enough to understand when they're being conned. Because the fact is, these things are the only aggressors towards your age demographic. All right, that's 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Age all the way down to, these are your number, and in most cases, your exclusive aggressor. Okay, literally nothing else is going to tee off on no young person other than a deranged, inbred, mutant parasite that they call dogs. So the one thing, what should happen is when they bring these parasites into these schools, there should be a segment of students who refuse to touch it. And I can almost guarantee you that there are. In many of these videos, you only see one or two students or a select few students rubbing on these things. And then they project it as, oh, everybody in the school loved it. No. So yeah, a lot to deal with. And again, people, this had nothing to do at all with bringing awareness to dog obesity. For those who came into the stream late, they tried to say that and this is in Chicago, they released a big giant dog balloon. This is like, you know what this is like? This feels like the part of the New World Order. And this is their time to show this is the new God, the new deity of the new world. Dogs. That's what this was. You wanted to showcase one of the deities, the top deities of the new world. They have nothing to do with bringing awareness. No, stupid dog obesity. This is some creepy stuff, if you ask me. This thing looked big as almost reminiscent of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but between buildings and stuck between buildings. Get out of here. You're not fooling nobody. And dog obesity is not a problem. You know what's the problem? The fact that there are so many of them that are overweight, meaning food's being wasted on these parasites. So, yeah, listen. When it comes to relationships, it's hard to find a reason why relationships fall apart outside of dog-related issues, if you ask me. Dogs, and the thing is, it's not dealt with, it's not talked about, but they are the biggest problem for people, if you ask me. Dogs. Dog culture. Okay? That video that Sheepy responded to, this guy uses this tactic of, making mockery of all our complaints. These people are extreme. They do that to take people's attention off of the impact dogs have on society. Do not let them run these games on you. Again, if you haven't watched that video, be sure to watch it. And notice how this guy is constantly trying to, it's persuasion. trying to persuade people to look at dog culture as something so harmless. Oh, haha, nothing should be taken seriously. Not attacks or not nothing. Not how toxic they are, nothing. Yeah, dog culture is dying off. And if you ask me, this was like a desperate attempt on their part. People, I need y'all to understand something. They're going to start doing things to counter our presence. Dog culture critics. Again, that video she responded to has over 300,000 views. This is the guy, the dog free community that really hates dogs. Jack Films. Okay, I don't even remember this video. There was another video where a guy had like over 1 million. This guy got like over 4 million views. This guy, he made a long video. It's like 27-minute long video trying to mock dog free in the posts made in dog free. People, they are getting paid to do this. Influencers get paid all the time. They're going to start sending out paid shills to mock us, make us look like lunatics, and it's already started. Okay? This video is a lot more serious than it may seem. This is a prime example of, we're going to see a lot more of this, because with a channel this large, and this guy got like almost 5 million subscribers. They are not going to waste time on a group of people like us. And if you ask me, unless there was an agenda behind it. This is going to be the first step in the attempt to silence dog culture critics, trying to pay social media influencers to just mock and make jokes, but never deal with any of our arguments at all. Okay, again, here I'm gonna share a link. You're going to see a whole lot more of this. This is just for the people who think we got some type of insignificant presence here. And I'm talking about all of our spaces. Pitbull victim awareness, again, they have more subscribers than me now. They're like over 15,000 subscribers right now. 66,000 members, over 66,000 in dog free. Also that other group, Pitbull something, on Reddit. I think there's more subscribers on that than in dog free, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so they're taking us seriously. Yeah, remember, they got gazillions of dollars invested in dog culture. But they also need to understand, and I'm sure they do understand, we're not going nowhere. The only option they have is to cater to us. These types of influencers, they're not going to be effective. They're not going to be effective. And you'll see in due time. Now, I'm having some issues with my live stream. I'm about to end it here. Hopefully it hasn't already ended. So big shout out to all of you. I will see you all hopefully again on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.